Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers for the Lioness Season 2, Episode 5, Shattered Moon. So, we continue where we left off from the last episode. If you remember, Joe and a contingent of badasses, they try to infiltrate this cartel who they believe are smuggling drugs into the country, but they're not actually smuggling drugs, they're smuggling people, children, young girls between the ages of 8 and 18, maybe some in their early 20s. Now, Zoe Saldana's character, being a mother in this show, she's taking this shit very personally and she wants her higher ups to understand that this shit can't be continued. It might not necessarily be on the agenda and there might not be necessarily smuggling drugs into the country, but this shit needs to stop. Trying to persuade people like Nicole Kidman, who pushes a lot of button and has a lot of authority, but we always see people like her in positions of comfort back in like Washington or wherever she is in America, fine dining and being driven around in a chauffeur-driven limousine and shit like that, having to make these tough decisions whilst Zoe Saldana and all her crew have to fucking implement those decisions by putting their lives on the line. Now Josephine, but it pisses me off that they made a character called Josephine. We've got two fucking Joes. Josephine, the new lioness, she didn't sign up for this. This is like too emotional for her. She doesn't want to deal with this. It's getting really difficult now as we're coming to the crunch. Especially as she will have to probably, set up her father and her mother and put them in danger. And I said before, one of the things that's bothering me about this show is that we're like so many episodes in and we still haven't got to the part where we're finally seeing our new lioness, being that spy. And we kind of get that in this episode to a degree. But prior to Josephine finally going over a reconsideration because she doesn't want to do this shit, but the original lioness Cruz, who's basically almost like a chaperone for Josephine to make sure she does the right thing, persuades her and tells her what she has to do for her country and the right thing, and the fact that her father is basically helping terrorism and all of that. And if you want to help these young girls from not being sex trafficked, then people like your father not only probably needs to face justice, but definitely needs to spill the beans. And if they do spill the beans, then they can be at least reallocated. Josephine's family are very wealthy because of the drug business, even though they're not directly implemented. They are still very wealthy from it, and so they can keep their wealth as long as they spill the beans on Josephine's uncle, her dad's brother, who basically runs the entire operation. Now, Cruz and with Josephine, they go back to Josephine's home to meet Josephine's parents. And the mum seems like a nice, dithering mum, and all of that. But we finally get to meet her father, the brother of the cartel boss. And her father is pretty much a fascist fucking asshole. Doesn't like the fact that there's maybe women and gays and trans people in the military. I mean, the whole point of Don't Ask, Don't Tell back in the day was that if you were gay, you had to keep it to yourself because the moment people found out you were gay, you get, discharged. So gay people being in the military has always been a common thing. It's just that nowadays they don't have to fucking hide it. And women in the military have been happening for decades, man. Like, it's not new. There's always been military and women in the military all the way back to times like World War Two and before that. So her dad being this misogynistic arsehole to somebody, they're making you not like this guy, And you can see also in Cruz, who's with Josephine at her parents' house, and Cruz, who we came across as bisexual or something along those lines. She's taken a little bit aback by Josephine's father's comments and stuff like that. But it just gives you an idea of who this dad is. He's not a good person, so if he does fucking die in this series, we shouldn't be shedding any tears for him. Unlike Josephine, who's crying her fucking eyes out because she's so worried about what's going to happen. I mean, she's not, she's a pilot who's always had the luxury of being in a cockpit and doing things from afar. But having to deal with things up close and personal, she's finding it very difficult, and she's really fucking emotional. And it's good that she has someone like Cruz to basically help her through all her shit. She had to spin a lie, obviously, regarding why she was dishonorably discharged. That's the story that her father has to believe, and which is the reason why she's back from the military, but at the same time, her father uses this story to basically shit on all women and gays and trans and this, that, and the other. So yeah, interesting time at the at Josephine's household. But then we go back to Zoe Saldana's character of Joe and all her military badasses doing some more missions. Now they want to infiltrate this human trafficking cartel. This is obviously something that's very close to Joe's heart. She wants to deal with this, nip this in the bud. But her and some DEA guys, they go after these cartel members who are human trafficking, but nothing's really going necessarily according to plan. There's drones, there's more men than they realize. Things are kind of dark. It's not that straightforward. They are killing machines, Joe's crew, but even they can feel the heat sometimes, and they do. And we get a massive sort of gunfight in the dark, in the woods, in the deserty woods, so to speak. And people from both teams, the bad guys and the good guys are getting killed. The DA guys are getting killed. There's drones which are owned by the cartel guys that are armed and with explosives, used to bomb anyone who tries to get close to them. And at one point, they feel that they found the caravan of people being smuggled into America as sex slaves. These young girls. They feel that they found them, but among them is a fucking I couldn't believe it, a Mexican suicide bomber who blows himself up, killing a whole bunch of these fucking people within the caravan, and maybe taking out a few of Joe's guys as well. I think, who knows? It's hard to say because the episode kind of ended on that particular moment. It was absolutely shocking and crazy and brilliant at the same time. There's a lot of emotion in this series. A lot, it really is very emotionally heavy and from various ways, And this was another bit of emotion that this episode gave you. It was fantastic. I loved it. I love this. I love this show so much. It's really good. Like, this show is such a balance to what people complain about, because this show is diverse. It's got strong female characters, and people maybe want to call it woke and all of that sort of shit. But it's hard ass too. Like, it's badass. It promotes the military, Americana to a degree, and all of that sort of shit. Patriotism, fighting and dying for your fucking country. It ticks all these fucking boxes. And you know what? Strong female characters and diverse shit has been around forever. Only nowadays, because of fucking certain people feeling a little bit concerned about women and diversity, are making an issue of shit like this. But when it's written this well and performed this well, there's nothing to complain about. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely fucking brilliant. This episode gets a fucking 9 out of 10 for me. I loved it. I truly loved it, and I can't wait to see where it goes. But I just want this infiltration now of Josephine and this cartel and shit to start happening. I don't know how many episodes there's going to be in season 2. Is it 8, 9, 10, whatever it may be? We're on episode 5, so we're already halfway through now. So this infiltration part needs to start fucking happening. I want to see it. I want to meet her fucking uncle. I want to see these fucking cartel. I want to see all these fucking drugs. I want to see all this shit. Show it to me. Give it to me, baby. Yes. 9 out of 10. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest social media channel you never heard of. Take care. Bye bye.